And good afternoon, everyone. This is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor. My name is Jim, and this is the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG network. This is a directed network, and I am net control. If at any time during this net should an emergency arise, please notify net control, and we will stand by and allow those in need to access this frequency. Is there any priority or emergency traffic at this time? And hearing nothing, we will continue. This net is all about ham radio and being all that you can be. That's what our QSO-VLOG network is all about, trying to help people achieve the best sounding station possible. Thanks for dropping by. FYI, my background is 50 years in commercial broadcasting, where a lot of big bucks are spent on audio processing equipment and getting it set up correctly to get the loudest, fullest sounding broadcast station possible. Well, long story short, when I became a ham radio operator, I could hear immediately a large discrepancy in on-air technical proficiency. A lot of stations were running with very poor mic equalization, very muddy, with little articulation. And as I continued to work stations, I realized most of the stations were also running very low average peak modulation, many around 30% of average peak modulation. So with my background, I felt I could help, or at least try. I knew that most modern-day ham transceivers did have enough onboard processing equipment to be able to overcome most all of the problems. So it would just be a matter of developing a generic dynamic range setup procedure and then adjusting the onboard EQ gear. And so I started the QSO-VLOG network with the phrase, if you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout. And today we're currently featuring over 1,440 QSO-VLOG Aircheck recordings. Our mission statement for the network is to establish a higher technical level of radio transmissions of the human voice by the intelligent utilization of available electronics and current amateur radio transceivers. Our setup, while generic in nature, converts the average 10 dB dynamic range transmitter with an average 30% of peak modulation to a much fuller 3 dB dynamic range with an average 80 to 85% of peak modulation. This substantial boost in audio transmit level is extremely beneficial in high noise levels and heavy QRM. It allows you to punch through when others fail. The second part of our transmitter setup has to do with proper mic equalization. We're looking to optimize the transmitted voice for a higher degree of intelligibility through the use of EQ patterns that bring out the articulation aspects of the human voice. Again, why need to hear the voice if you can't understand the words? Also this afternoon on the receiver side, we're running 4 Internet SDR receivers, monitoring Rochester, New York, Milford, Pennsylvania, Atlanta, Georgia, and Arlington, Virginia, trying to get the best copy from our 100-watt friends. Now the audio from these 4 SDR receivers comes up on a 6-position rotary selector. Also on this selector is our local receiver audio. And today our local receiver is running 2 large 10-foot vertical magnetic loop antennas, one aimed north and south, the other east and west. The north and south mag loop can be rotated. They are selected by a 3-position rotary selector. Position 3 of the selector is a co-phase option that many times is 3 to 4 dB hotter than magloop 1 or 2 by themselves. Also today, on the transmit side, we'll be running our no SWR specifically oriented dipole antenna. One leg of this dipole is broadside to Montreal, Canada. The other leg is broadside to Miami, Florida. As we were constructing our station, our mantra was 20 over from Montreal to Miami with a hotspot through the Carolinas. And although conditions may vary, the general performance of this antenna supports its mission. Also today, we'll be running our input source indicator. So when we switch from an Internet SDR receiver to our local receiver, you'll be able to hear the switch and see the switch. You'll have to check it out on our YouTube QSO-VLOG video. As we come together again for another Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net, let us also pause just a moment for the amateur radio operator's prayer. Lord, we pray for clear 20 over S9 communications today. Let all our transmissions fill the air and reach their destinations QSA-5 to be understood by all. And as we pray for good radio conditions, let us also pray for good human conditions. During this time of pandemic that has challenged us all, we pray that you'll protect everyone, especially our elderly. And also, Lord, we seek your divine intervention to bring peace to a very divided United States. As we go through a very conflicting time in America's history, with dark clouds all around, we pray that you will reduce life's daily political QRM between our brothers and sisters. And through your love and guidance, show us the way to find peace and harmony. Help us to communicate with one another 20 over S9. Thank you, Lord, and God bless and protect America. Amen. To continue, this is the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG Network, and now let's check in and see if Charlie K1GZL is on frequency to bring us up to date on the latest 40-meter band propagation. Charlie's QTH is up north in northern New Hampshire, near the Canadian border. Charlie, got a copy?
Yes, Jim, I certainly do. You're 20 on a SDR here, and that big storm, we missed it. We missed it. They had as much as 40 inches plus of snow in parts of southern New Hampshire, southern Vermont, all the way down through Pennsylvania, and, in New York State. We only had 1.2 inches of snow. Beautiful day today. It's about 23 or 4 degrees. I've got a short but a very, very nice chat on last Sunday, and that was the 13th, and we had Captain Mike up at 35, western of 35,000 feet over western Nebraska, heading east. Do you copy, Jim? Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Copying on the Rochester SDR at 20 over. I was on my local antenna for a little while, and I was about 8 over, so it's a little cleaner on the Rochester. Roger.
About 8 over, so it's a little cleaner on the Rochester. Roger.
Okay, Roger. Let me see if I can get this to work. Once in a while, the jack connection into the cassette is not great, and I have to put my finger on it. But here's Captain Mike last Sunday morning, the 13th.
Crosswind right now. We're only doing about 470 knots. It's 1,300 miles from Philadelphia. Estimating Philly at 140 your time there, Eastern. But let's see, that should be pretty cold up there. It's about minus 56 London. But a lot of snow down below there. Jordan, you still there? November, Kilo 9, November Zulu Foxtrot from KS4 with Charlie. When I get into Philadelphia, my brother-in-law Mark's going to be waiting for me in his truck, and we're going to drive 9 hours to Virginia. So.
Okay, there you are. I had a breakdown, brief breakdown there, but he was over western Nebraska, just east of Scotts Bluff. After he had passed out of Wyoming, and he had snow on the ground right out in front of him that he was looking at. Yes, KX4 Whiskey Charlie, K1GZL. Sorry about that, breakdown.
Roger, Charlie. Well, listen, when you finally got your finger on the problem, it cleared up. Listen, I just wanted to make you aware that if it's a problem with that cassette machine on the jack, it's not getting its normal pass-through. I understand that Walmart is still selling cassette machines if you might need a substitute, Roger.
Cassette machines if you might need a substitute, Roger.
It's not the cassette itself. It's the jack going into the cassette. It occasionally breaks down. Other times goes beautiful or no problem. But unfortunately, this particular time it acted up. It did act up there. Captain Mike, he does a terrific job. And he's only got an 8-foot piece of wire for an antenna on the front of the 45-degree angle tail. So that was fun, but this doesn't happen all the time. But every once in a while, I do have this connection. But I have another cassette. I use that, and I have the same problem. So it's in the jack system on the connector. Okay, I'll turn it back to you. I won't hold it too long. You may have many stations ready to Christmas. I may not be here next Friday. Jim. KC9VKV K1GZL.
Roger, Charlie. I will certainly. I'll look for you, but I won't be surprised if you're missing an action, since you may have other things to do, and I understand that. But gosh, your signal, I just went back to my local antenna, and you were a little bit better that time than Rochester, Roger.
Okay, well, that's the way it goes on the propagation. So we had a couple of days where conditions were not quite as good as normal down into Australia. They were all right, but they seem to be skipping over. They seem to, well, not skipping over, but weaker. And sporadic E, short skip was extremely good. Very, very good. But this morning was a little bit better. So I'll turn it back to you, Jim, and you're 25 over 9 right now, direct. KC9VKV on this sunny day up here. K1GZ and an L. We only got 5 inches of snow on the ground, and that's all we have right now. Go ahead.
Roger. Well, that last transmission, I went over to my loop antenna, and I had pre-positioned my rotatable loop to a 45 degree angle from my location, which should be right on top of you. And I was checking it to AB with my my other antenna, which is a dipole antenna, and it was usually about 4 to 5 dB hotter than my dipole, although there would be changes back and forth. It wasn't like that the magnetic loop antenna would be consistently hotter than the dipole, only usually more so on than off. Roger?
Oh, yeah, that is true. Let me give you an example of that situation. Now, WA30, Mike, he lives on the east side, Monroeville, I believe it is, just on the east side of Pittsburgh, and he has a second location in Weirton, about 35 miles further west in Weirton, West Virginia. And there have been times when he would copy me 30 to 40 dB stronger, just at 35 miles further west. It's very, very sharp when you get into sporadic E short skip. But right now you are really blasting in. There would be changes back and forth. It wasn't like that, the magnetic loop antenna would be consistently hotter than the dipole. Okay, I ought to give you an idea how you're coming in, like a local broadcast station. Okay, Jim, thank you very much for picking me up, and Merry Christmas to you, and let's hope the new year will be much better for all of us there, and with this Kovac and all that business, I certainly hope that the vaccines will do better, and people will be careful not to, forget that stuff that disease can spread. That disease can spread extremely fast if we're not careful. But eventually, hopefully, that'll all be behind us, and we may have learned something. So I'll sign with you, Jim, and thank you very much for picking me up. KC9VKV, K1GZ and an L.
Roger, Charlie. And just before you go, I did want to express condolences for Mike's Arecibo dish collapse. Roger.
Mike's Arecibo dish collapse. Roger.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Jim, WA3FET, spent a lot of time working with the group down there at Arecibo. And what had happened was they have huge cables that feed into the arm and all over the different parts of the dish. And all of a sudden, gradually, I guess it's over the last couple of years, some of those strands would break, and then more of them would break, and then eventually they broke to the point that the whole thing, most of it collapsed. It collapsed, and I don't believe anybody was hurt, thank goodness. But that was a great tragedy. That was a great tragedy, Jim. Go ahead.
Oh, Roger, and YouTube has a video of that collapse. You can see the first main cable snap, and then it's just one thing after another. Those cables just let go one by one, and then pretty soon the whole thing come crashing down. But YouTube does have a video of the Arecibo collapse.
YouTube does have a video of the Arecibo collapse.
Yeah, I didn't see it on YouTube, but I did see it on national TV and also one of the TV networks. They showed it coming down, and one of the fellows we work, I'm trying to think of it's called KP4, Angel. His name is Angel, and he was right up in the control room at the time it happened. And that is a sight he will never, ever forget when you consider the amount of technology and work that was put in to this dish. All the way around, but let's hope 2021 and on is much, much better. Okay, Jim, great. I don't want to, we might say, hog the net here, and it'll make me feel guilty. It'll make me feel guilty with my tail between my legs. KC9VKV, K1GZL. You've been terrific copy up here.
Roger, Charlie. 73 up that way, sir. Always a pleasure, and we will look for you next Friday. But if we don't hear you, we'll understand. So 73 up that way, and we'll catch you later. This is KC9VKV. My name is Jim, and this is the QSO-VLOG net. I'm better known in some circles as Dr. VKV. We are recording now live till 5. So if you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout. We'll post this recording up on YouTube in the next couple of days. So when you go to YouTube, just do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by today's date, 12/18/20, and that will take you directly to this QSO-VLOG recording. If you just use the call letter search, that'll take you to our QSO-VLOG page, where you'll be looking at around 1,440 recorded QSO-VLOG recordings. This is KC9VKV. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shot.
There's a Bravo station. I'm catching a lot of flack from somewhere off the side bench. Charlie, if you've got a copy, would you do me a favor and see if we can remedy that sideband stuff? It's coming from up north in your area, I do believe. So if you still got a copy, I'd appreciate that. This is KC9VKV. There was a station there that was fighting the QRM. Come back and try it again, sir.
There was a station there that was fighting the QRM. Come back and try it again, sir.
Victor, Echo 3, X-Ray, Bravo, Oscar.
X-Ray, Bravo, Oscar. Roger. Good afternoon. This is KC9VKV. What's going on up that way?
Roger, good afternoon. This is KC9VKV. What's going on up that way?
Good afternoon, Jim. A long time no sound, Ontario, Canada. You're sounding great, 5x9. Just testing a new radio here. It's the Kenwood TS2000. Just wanted to, with a stock microphone, with sound. Just wanted to see how it sounds. Back to you.
Roger, I moved over to the Milford SDR. It sounds really good there. Bottom end is rolling out before 300 cycles. Could maybe use just a little more bottom end, but sounds beautiful as it is, Roger.
Roger. Excellent. Okay, very good. Hope all is well in your area, Roger.
Roger, what radio was that?
The Kenwood TS2000. Kenwood TS2000, Roger.
Ah, yes. Well, congratulations, may I say.
Oh, thank you very much, Jim.
And thanks for dropping by. And you have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend, Roger.
Roger on that, 73 VE3XBO.
Roger. And we've got you recorded there. You can see up on our spectrum analyzer your audio response curve, and you'll see what I mean there. Could use just a little more bottom end if you wanted, but certainly a nice communications EQ curve as it stands. So 73 up that way, and we'll catch you later. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. If you've got a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Kilo Golf 0, Uniform Hotel.
Uniform Hotel Station. Come back with the call sign slowly phonetically.
Yeah, Jim, it's Kilo Golf 0, Uniform Hotel.
Roger, and what's the name there?
The name is Dick.
Alrighty, Dick, and whereabouts are you located, sir?
Located in Olathe, Kansas, a suburb of Kansas City.
All right, going west. Like I said, we don't normally go west a bunch. And is that Kansas City, Kansas? Or there's two or three different Kansas cities, isn't there? That's where a few states come together?
Yes, and it's on the Kansas side.
Roger that. And would you be interested in a setup procedure?
Yes, you helped me with the ALC and the mic gain and the compression. We got all that done, and I've gotten a lot of compliments on my audio. But I did get one comment that I don't have enough highs. So I'm on the. I set the equalizer up based on Heil's recommendations for this radio. So we may want to go through the equalizer and see if what your suggestions may be.
Yes, sir. Let's go to, if you would, your equalizer and see where it stands at the moment.
Okay, it has three different parts. On the top, I've got the frequency is 200. The equalizer level is a -6. And the bandwidth is 3. On the second level, I've got 900 for the frequency. The level is -6, and the bandwidth is 2. And on the third level, the frequency is 2400. The level is 6, a +6. And the bandwidth is 2.
Okay, let's go to your it's a 3-band EQ, and let's go to your mid-range, and that should be flat. You should set your mid-range EQ to flat, Roger?
EQ to flat, Roger. Okay, that's the level.
Yeah, your mid-range EQ should be flat.
Flat.
Yeah, Dick, you have a copy?
Okay, I changed that from a -6 to 0.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, why don't you go? That obviously that you were pushing that, right?
Yes.
Yes, sir. So go back. First thing, go back to your ALC and set with mic gain your ALC reading for mid-scale to 2/3. Because when you have that much push in your mid-range, you know when you take it back to flat, you're going to have to readjust your ALC level. So we go back to the ALC and then set that for mid-scale to 2/3 by way of mic gain control.
Yeah, it's a little bit hot right now, so I'm going to put it down.
KC9VKV,
how's that sound?
84 VOA.
Station, stand by, please. I'm working with Dick in Kansas. Okay, Dick, now you have your ALC mid-scale to 2/3. Roger?
Mid-scale to 2/3, Roger.
That's affirmative.
All right, let's go back to EQ.
Okay, back to EQ.
All right, and what is your top-end treble EQ setting at the moment?
Setting at the moment.
Top end is frequency of 200, the level is -6, and the bandwidth is 2.
Okay, now we need to be clear about this. Your top-end EQ is treble EQ. It would be more at 2,000 as a setting versus 200. Roger?
Setting versus 200, Roger.
Okay, it is 2400. Okay, let's get it. Okay, yes, 2400. The level is 6, the +6, and the bandwidth is 2.
Okay, let me ask you, well, do you know that push, how that's termed? Is that 0 to plus 100 or 0 to plus 10? Or how, what's your top-end numbers?
Your top-end numbers.
You mean the level or the bandwidth? Which one are you referring to?
The level. In other words, how much are you EQing now? You give me a number, but I'm not really familiar with radio. I'm just saying what we want to do is increase that maybe 20% from where it is. So you be the judge of what those numbers would be.
Okay, it goes up to 6. I'm sorry, it goes up to 10, and it currently is at 6.
All right, take it up to about 8, and then give me about 10 or 15 seconds on your antenna system, and let me hear you.
Okay, I'll change to an 8 from a 6.
Yes, sir. Okay, and then give me 10 on your antenna.
You mean go back to the ALC?
No, just I need to hear you, so I wanted you to give me about 10 seconds of description of your antenna system.
Oh, okay. I've got a 40 Wyndham in inverted B, about 36 feet in height, at about 90 degrees at the apex.
All right, you took a fade there as you did that, but I still could copy you fairly well. Now, what is your base level setting on the other one there that is 200?
Okay, the base setting, the frequency is 200, the level is -6, and the bandwidth is 2.
All righty, just out of curiosity, come up 2 clicks boost from where you are. We just want to hear that for a moment. +2 boost from where you are on your base EQ.
Okay, I've moved it from a -6 to a -4.
And talk to me just a little bit more and tell me what you like about your radio.
What I like about this radio is it's very, very adjustable. I'm getting used to the, I think, 194 different menu items, and it's just been a fun radio.
Roger. Now, just out of curiosity, I want you to go the other way, back to where you were, and then and 2 clicks the opposite from where you went, just to hear that.
I'm sure you hit the set button.
Okay, now I've gone from a -6 to a -8. And before, Jim, I did not push the select, so it may not have taken that. So let's try this -8, and then I can go back to -4 and see what the difference is.
All right, sir. I got that. Then go the other, do what the other version of what we were doing.
Okay, now I'm back to a -4, which you suggested originally.
I like that fairly well. It could be more bassy, but you have a very articulated sound. So let's just call it good for now. Roger.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you very much. I appreciate your help, and have a good holiday.
Roger, and just note to yourself or in the book or wherever that your 2.2K is treble and your 200 is your bass frequency. Roger, so you keep those separated. And where they are.
Got it. Makes perfect sense. Thank you, 73.
Roger, Dick, just in time, starting to fade out in Kansas. So 73, you have a great afternoon and a beautiful weekend coming up. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. If you've got a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Kilo Oscar 4, India Zulu Papa.
India Zulu Papa, come back slowly phonetically with the call sign.
Kilo Oscar 4, India Zulu Papa.
India Zulu Papa, Roger. What's the name there?
It's Brian in Virginia.
Roger, Brian, did I speak with you last weekend?
No, sir.
Roger, okay. And what's your location?
I'm in Harrisonburg, Virginia.
Roger, and what radio are you running, sir?
The ICOM 7300, and I have a Comet CHA 250B vertical antenna.
Roger that, and what mic?
I'm using the handset from the ICOM 7300.
Roger, Brian, well, you're working that microphone just perfectly. So let's talk about your setup there. Would suggest that you bring your compressor in line at a 3.
Roger.
Okay, and we got that?
Roger.
All right, now go to your ALC with mic gain in hand. And as you speak fairly quickly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, set your ALC meter to run mid-scale to 2/3 by way of your mic gain control.
Roger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
All righty, and how's that? We're at mid-scale to 2/3 now?
Let me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that better, Roger?
I'm not copying you very well at the moment. We've taken a dive signal-wise, and I'm not copying you on the any of the SDRs. I am copying, well, I do have Arlington up, but how far, just out of curiosity, how far are you away from Arlington?
I'm about 2.5 hours from Arlington.
Roger. Okay, tell me in 10 seconds or so about your antenna system. Brian, gosh, I'm not copying you anywhere, sir. What kind of antenna system are you running again? Yeah, sorry, Brian. I'm not copying you anywhere. Our conditions have apparently deteriorated to 0. So let me going to have to pass for now, buddy, because I can't even copy the mail. Let's try one more time. I'll hang in there just for another few minutes or a few seconds there and see if conditions come back. Do you copy me now, Brian?
Roger, Jim. I copy you just fine here from Virginia.
All right. Are you? What kind of antenna system did you say you were running?
Antenna system did you say you were running?
Yeah, not copying you, Brian. I'm sorry, sir. Let me just do something here to let you know what it is. We're running about a KW, so I'm going to drop down to 100 watts so you can see what's happening there. We're on 100 watts now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That was 100 watts. Back to let's see, back to a KW now, and you can see what I'm facing here, Roger.
Yeah, the second is
Facing here, Roger.
So, Brian, maybe later on in the broadcast, if my signal comes more up to you than where it is, or you might try again, and maybe we'll be able to press on here. But as it stands, I think what I would suggest, if you're running the hand mic for that 7300, I would suggest a treble EQ of +3. A treble EQ of +3, and maybe a bottom end EQ of +1. So +3 on the top end EQ, +1 on the bottom for that hand mic, and I think that would probably do well. And that shouldn't shift your ALC too much, but you might go back after you set your EQ patterns. Go back to your ALC and adjust your ALC from mid-scale to 2/3 as you continue to run your compressor at a 3. So we'll say 3s for now, Brian, 73, and we'll catch you later, sir. This is KC9VKV, the QSO-VLOG net, and if you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Bravo Oscar Alpha.
Bravo. I'll tell you what, sir, come back with the call sign again.
Kilo Delta 4, Bravo Oscar Alpha.
Bravo Oscar Alpha, and what's the name?
Alpha, and what's the name?
It's from West Palm Beach, Jim. Merry Christmas.
Bravo Oscar Alpha, stand by just a moment. Bravo Oscar Alpha. I hear my buddy down in Florida, Mike. This is a KC9VKV. Do you copy?
This is a KC9VKV. Do you copy?
Yeah, Jim. This is Kilo Delta 4, Bravo Oscar Alpha. Merry Christmas.
Oh, that was you?
Oh, that was you?
That's me, QSO.
You are Bravo Oscar Alpha?
You are Bravo Oscar Alpha?
QSO, Kilo Delta 4, Bravo Oscar Alpha. Mike in West Palm Beach.
Roger, Mike. Well, gosh, I tell you, our signals, the first time I heard your call sign, it was about like 20 over. And, and then I heard you again about a few seconds later, and it was like, well into the background level. And I didn't realize they were both the same signal, Roger.
Level. And I didn't realize they were both the same signal, Roger.
No, it was funny. I was listening to listening to you last, Jim. It reminded me of listening 8 years ago with your dad when you were on 8 a.m.
Roger, Mike. Now, my normal best SDR antenna is Milford, and I'm currently kicked off of Milford. They do that from time to time, and sometimes more often than others. But let me go back and see if I can get back into Milford real quick here, and just see if I can copy you any better on Milford. Try it again, Mike.
Just see if I can copy you any better on Milford. Try it again, Mike.
Yes, band going up and down while we're trying to up and down while. But like I said, Merry Christmas.
Okay, gosh, I got you about 12 over or so on Milford, PA, so it sounds really good. What radio are you running, Mike?
Good.
like half the rest of the people out here. That's 7300. What a great little radio.
Yes, sir, Mike. Well, I can give you a quick setup on that. If you got notes to write, first thing is that compressor engaged at a 3. Roger. Compressor engaged at a 3.
Roger. Compressor engaged at a 3.
Okay, copy.
All right, then move to your ALC with mic gain in hand and adjust your ALC for mid-scale to 2/3. And that's an important reading there. So it's more than 50%, but less than, mid-scale to 2/3, because that's what really helps getting your dynamic range through a 3 dB, Roger.
Range through a 3 dB, Roger.
Yes, sir. So, the ALC, where would I find that?
You'll have to read your book, sir. I can't really tell you where it is, but on that 7300, it's easy to get to. It's about 2 lines down from your power output, I believe. And you get your book and find your ALC, Roger.
Get your book and find your ALC, Roger.
This is Kilo X-Ray 4 X-Ray Bravo. He's talking about mic gain on the IT7300, over.
Yeah, mic gain on the 7300 to adjust your ALC. But I think Mike was asking how to get to his ALC.
Asking how to get to his ALC.
Press that knob right below multi, and it's the second one right down below RF power. This is Kilo X-Ray 4 X-Ray Bravo.
Thank you, sir. Mike, do you copy?
Thank you, sir. Mike, do you copy?
Hey, Jim, I got to run, so let's go ahead and help someone else with theirs, and I'll get back with you at a later time. You have a great holiday, Jim, and we'll see you later. KD4 BOA in West Palm Beach, Florida.
Roger. Mike, if you could just take a couple of notes, sir. Make a note of that ALC adjustment by way of your mic gain control to run a mid-scale to 2/3. Then go back to your EQ, or go to your EQ and check to be sure you're running a +3 treble EQ and maybe flat on the bottom bass EQ, +3 on treble and 0 flat on the bass if you're running the hand mic. Roger.
If you're running the hand mic. Roger.
Thank you very much. KD4 BOA.
Roger, Mike. 73 down that way, sir. You have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend, and if we don't talk before Christmas, Merry Christmas to you. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
WA4HNL.
HNL station, come back slowly phonetically with your hold sign, please.
Come back slowly phonetically with your hold sign, please.
Yeah, Whiskey America 4, Hotel November London, WA4HNL in Atlanta.
Roger, HNL, and what's the name there?
Roger, HNL, and what's the name there?
And the name is Joel, Juliet Obo Echo Lima.
Roger, Joel, and what's your radio?
Roger, Joel, and what's your radio?
The ubiquitous 7300 ICOM, relatively new.
I see, sir. Well, gosh, why don't you give me about 10 seconds on what your antenna system is?
Well, since I got back on the air, which is about 11 years off the air, we're now using the G5RV and the 7300 barefoot, over.
Roger that. Now, let me give you a suggestion on operating that hand mic. Put it to the side of your mouth and talk across it. Do not talk directly into it. Pull it to the side of your mouth where it actually touches the side of your mouth and talk across it. Roger?
Talk across it, Roger.
Okay, we'll give that a try. I've never done it that way, but it's worth trying, over.
Roger, it's a lot cleaner that way. You have a lot of mouth noise if you work directly into that mic. Tell me, and again, in about 15 seconds or so, what you like best about the 7300.
Best about the 7300. Well, I had a brand new TS440 that I bought 24 years ago, and after I got back on the air, it was giving me some problems. So for the price, we bought the 7300. I paid less for the 7300 brand new than I did for the 440. So that's what I like about it. But it seems to be a great radio. Over.
Okay, now let me give you another suggestion, pulling the mic a little bit further back towards the back of your mouth. In other words, it's touching your lips, but pull it back towards the corner of your mouth just a little bit more, because I'm still getting blow-by from working too much into the mic.
Okay, well, must be my big mouth, Jim. Can I cut back on the mic gain or something to help that?
No, that sounds fine. Just keep it right where you had it last. That's a very minimum amount of mouth noise there. So what I want you to do now is check your compression and engage your compressor at a 3 if it's not already.
Okay, now it's at 3. It was at 4. I don't know. That's a big difference, but it's 3 now. Over.
Roger, yes. And now move to your ALC with the mic gain in hand. And what I want you to do is speak rather quickly, 100, 200, 300, so you can keep that meter up to see how to adjust it. And with that going on, I want you to use your mic gain to adjust the ALC reading for mid-scale to 2/3 operation. Roger?
Got to find the ALC. I should have, well, that's AGC. That's not going to help. There is an ALC on here, but it's buried down in there. It's not on the normal menu. Over.
All right, just take notes. Take a note to adjust your ALC for mid-scale to 2/3 by way of using your mic gain control to do that. Roger?
I can take care of that easily enough once I find it. Over.
Roger. And then I want you to go to your EQ, double check your EQ, and I want you to put +3 clicks boost on your treble EQ. I don't know where it is now, so let me just say we want +3 treble EQ, and you can go flat on your bass. Just make those notes, and then when you find your EQ, just adjust it. It may be already, I'm not sure, so you'll just, the end result should be +3 treble EQ, 0 flat on your bass. Roger?
Flat on your bass. Roger?
Alrighty, I can do that easily enough. It's a separate ALC on this. I've seen it. I've probably played with it. I appreciate it, Jim. I can go from there. Over.
Yes, sir. Very good, Joel. Well, thanks for dropping by, sir. Have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. And if you get a chance, call back next Friday, and we'll see if how it's sounding. Roger?
I will love to do that, and I'll listen on the internet. I assume you're taping things like I've heard you do before.
Yes, sir. We always tape from 3:30 till 5, and then we post it up on YouTube, and you obviously know how to get there, but to get to this specific recording would be use my call sign on a YouTube search, KC9VKV, followed by today's date, 12/18/20. That will take you directly to this recording. Roger?
Very good. I appreciate it. You be safe and enjoy the holiday if I don't speak to you.
Yes, sir, Joel. 73, sir. Have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout. There was somebody just calling there, caught just the tail end of it on Rochester. Try again.
Calling there, caught just the tail end of it on Rochester. Try again.
Whiskey 9, Mike Yankee Papa.
Mike Yankee Papa, come back again with your call sign slowly, phonetically.
Yankee Papa, come back again with your call sign slowly, phonetically.
Whiskey 9er, Mike Yankee Papa.
Whiskey Niner, and what was the rest of that?
Whiskey Niner, and what was the rest of that?
Mike Yankee Papa.
Roger, I thought that was it, but I wasn't sure. And what's the name there?
Roger, I thought that was it, but I wasn't sure. And what's the name there?
The name here is Mike.
Alrighty, Mike, and what's your location, sir?
Alrighty, Mike, and what's your location, sir?
I'm in Sandwich, Illinois.
And this is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, and we just had a very unusual thing happen. The bat handle on our PTT switch broke off, and so we had no ability to transmit. So the net did come to a screeching halt, and I could not say bye-bye or nothing. So we are adding this just as a reference to what happened to the rest of the net. We did have to replace the toggle switch for our PTT, and we're back in business, but we did lose the rest of the net for this afternoon. We will post what we have. See you guys later. 73. This is KC9VKV clear.